We begin with the latest developments from today's series of Easter Sunday bomb attacks in Sri Lanka. Local police say the number of deaths from the blasts on churches and hotels has now increased to 207. Well, this is video showing the first blast at St Anthony's Church in the heart of the Sri Lankan capital, Colombo. 8 blasts in total rocked the country on Sunday. A 12-hour curfew was declared immediately afterwards, and access has temporarily also been blocked to social networks, including Facebook and Instagram. Many of the victims were from the Christian minority who were celebrating the holiest day on the Christian calendar. Dozens of foreigners are also among the dead. We should warn you that the following images are disturbing. Seven people are currently under arrest. This video shows Sri Lankan special forces raiding a house in Colombo. The Prime Minister has promised that those behind the attack will face a stern response. Well, the first blast occurred around 9 a.m. local time. In the capital, one church, 3 luxury hotels were targeted. Now, another place of worship that was hit was in the city of Negombo. That's around 40 kilometres or so north of the capital. A further blast happened on the opposite side of the island, a popular tourist destination of Batticaloa. And a 7th explosion then hit a small hotel close to the capital. After that, an 8th took place on the outskirts of Colombo. There are reports it was a suicide bombing which took the lives of 3 police officers who were conducting a raid on an apartment block in pursuit of the attackers. Let's show you some of the aftermath of one of the explosions. And to reiterate, no group has as yet claimed responsibility for these attacks. Sri Lanka is a mainly Buddhist country. Less than 10% of the population are Catholic, who make up a large proportion of today's fatalities. Many world leaders have condemned the attacks and expressed their condolences. Speaking at the Easter service at the Vatican, Pope Francis denounced today's events as a cruel act and expressed his support for all those affected.
I wish to express my heartfelt solidarity with the Christian community affected while it was at prayer and with all the victims of such cruel violence.
We also spoke to political and geostrategic expert Javed Rane. He is of the view there had been disquiet between religious communities in the lead-up to Sunday's atrocities.
I think there was a level of uncomfortability among different communities, particularly after there was some sort of rioting between some of the nationalist group. And we should not forget that the phenomena of terrorism and violence is not altogether new to the Sri Lanka. It was at peak from 1983 to 2009, when there was a Tamil insurgency, particularly in the northeast of Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan government thought that it's all over in 2009 when they got rid of that insurgency, and then they also used the weapon of the suicide bombing. Now that is something again has happened now after 9 years. But at this particular point of time, there are new dynamics to the geostrategic situation in Sri Lanka. There are other factors like Daesh, because Daesh has been operating everywhere in the world. Well, I think the message is quite clear. The Christian community, which make up around 7% of the Sri Lankan population, the message is to terrify them, to keep them away from their worship places, and also the messages to the foreigners who have been touring Sri Lanka. I think it is going to come down hard on the Sri Lankan economy. It is going to go negatively registered when it comes to touring Sri Lanka. The situation is fast changing.